So this is lesson 13 out of 25. The topic today is everyone has something to teach you. Learn from whoever you can. So where I'm getting this from is a guy named Tom Bilyeu. He's the creator of something called Quest Energy Bars and as well as something called Impact Theory. And he has these 25 belief systems that he believes is the foundation for anybody to get a growth mindset in order to be successful. And so this is lesson 13. This is number 13 on his list. Now, one thing I like about this guy I'm listening to is he says this. He says he puts his identity, or he identifies with being a learner. Because he's found out that if he connects his identity with anything else, it's going to let him down. So think about this. If you feel like you got to be the smartest person in the room, chances are you're not always going to be the smartest person in the room. And that's going to mess with your identity. And it's going to make you do things that you shouldn't try to be doing, trying to prove yourself right or wrong. If you identify as always being the smart one, the brave one, the something else, that's all going to let you down. And the worst part about it is it's going to stop you from growing and getting better. Because if you have to admit that you don't know everything, sometimes that's hard for people to do. But if you take on the identity which he has as being a learner, then he's okay failing. He's okay going into a room and admitting, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And the more he learns, the better he gets at things. And so that's the identity he has. And so number 13, everyone has something to teach you. Learn from whoever you can. I can tell you that as old as I am still learning so many things. So many things. But I also learn from other people. And it doesn't have to be someone. It doesn't have to be an expert at something. I'll give you an example from my wife. I learned from her about, I guess the word is compassion, about giving, about being nice. My nature, who I am, is I kind of hold on to things like as far as, I don't really think I want to be nice or not. I don't really think I want to give something. Like if somebody asks me to donate something, I'm usually like, I don't think so. And she's just the opposite. She is probably one of the most giving people I know. And from her, I'm learning to be better at being a person that gives and invests more in other people. So I've learned that from her, and I'm still learning that from her. From my youngest daughter, what I've learned from her, what I continue to learn from her, is what it means to be brave and courageous and to be a fighter. I mentioned before that she had to go through a major surgery. And to see her go through this surgery the way she did, and the most incredible thing is after the surgery, what she did. When people go through hard things in their life, a lot of times they give up. And she was just the opposite. She was in so much pain for so long, she kept going through the pain to get better. I remember when we had goals for her just to basically sit up in bed. And then we had goals for her just for her to kind of get out of bed. And then I remember we had goals for her just to walk to the front door. Could you imagine that your whole goal in life, you're like just trying to make it to the front door? And she had to do that. And she went through the pain to do that, to grow and get better. I'm her dad and I'm learning from my daughter. You can learn from anybody. And there's my son. Oh, my son. He's 17 now. And for the past year, this guy, it's been like, usually we'll have dinner. Then at 7 o'clock at night, he goes, all right, guys, I'm going to go work out. 7 o'clock at night. He works out from 7 to 9 every night. Consistently. There's been a few times here and there, but consistently he works out. I don't know if you know many people that have the discipline to put in the effort to get better every night. I know one at least, and that's my son. He's 17. I'm his dad. I'm learning from him what it means to be consistent with something. And then there's my other daughter. Oh, my other daughter. It is the weirdest thing. She is now 19, and she is like me in so many ways. And I'm like her in so many ways. And it's weird because I'll watch her go through life. I'll watch who she is and what she does and how she responds to things and how she thinks about things. And I think to myself, oh my God, that's me. It's weird looking at yourself from the outside. And so every time I watch her go through life, I learn things about myself. It gives me insight about myself. And so I'm learning from my daughter as well. And so you can learn from anybody at any time. Look at people around you. Look at your family, your friends, and see what you can pick up from them. Now here's the key to all this. These are great. We come across quotes all the time. We come across things posted all the time. They're inspirational. You may talk about inspirational things, but I can tell you, thinking back through my own thing, my wife, I'm learning from her because she is acting on that. She is giving. She is somebody that is helping other people. I learned from my son because he is consistent. Every day he puts in the work. Same thing with my daughter and my two daughters. So here's the key to all this. You're going to hear a lot of advice in your life from people. And you may even give advice. But it really all does not matter unless you're actually living that advice. So when it comes to all of this, when it comes to these quotes and everything, the secret is this, that you can't just talk it, you actually got to try to live it. If you really say the golden rule is important, you really believe that's inspirational, then you got to do your best to live by that golden rule. If you really believe that quitting is not an option, you got to try to live by that. And that is what's going to inspire people. Not what you say, but what you actually see people doing. So that is the difference in life. Is when you actually see people doing something, that is really truly inspirational. And that is who you really want to learn from. Thank you for watching the video. If you like what you saw, please hit the subscribe button or click on one of the other links.